I'm now going to talk about a new product on the tvtrade.ie website, which is the TFC 5052 Diplexer from Triax, okay? And I'm just quickly going to demonstrate it here. It's a well-designed unit here. You can just pull back the cover like this, and when we're actually connecting it up, we can pull out the thing here, which makes it easy to connect here. We'll use things like the F connectors here. And basically, anyway, what we'll do is, it's for combining two UHF aerials together. So the first one will have a range of between 2 and 50, and the second, channel 2 to channel 50, and the next one will have a range of channel 52 to 68. So you can see there's a 2-band gap in between. Number 51 isn't being covered here, okay? So basically, why and when would we use this? And this seems a little bit different than our traditional Diplexer. So just traditionally in terms of Diplexers, what would we have used? We'd have used something like this, which is a VHF UHF combiner, okay? And for the old analog signal, you take in 2 feeds here and you combine the signal together, and that would work fine. But this is going to become something obsolete by the end of 2012, when the digital signal will totally replace analog right across Europe, and analog is turned off. So if you want to get the new SareView service, you just put up a single UHF aerial. Now, to give you an example of a UHF aerial, if you just look behind me here, we have one hanging here, okay? This is a wideband, black-tipped one, okay? So there's no need for a Diplexer in that scenario. But if you live along the border or the coast, there's a real possibility that you'll be able to pick up both the SareView transmissions from the UK to give you the BBCs, the ITVs and things like this, and also pick up the SareView signals as well. And you'll be able to do this by having 2 aerials, one aimed for SareView, the other possibly in an opposite direction aimed for Freeview, and you join them together into a single cable using this Diplexer, and you run that cable down into an MPEG-4 digital terrestrial receiver. Now, it won't work if you try to use a Freeview MPEG-2 receiver, because the SareView signals in Ireland are being broadcast on MPEG-4. So MPEG-4 is backward compatible, but a MPEG-4 receiver can handle MPEG-2, but that's not the case if MPEG-2 can't handle MPEG-4. Okay, so where and when would you use the 52? Well, if you come along here and look, we'll say, what we've done is we've pulled all the information and put this on the website here in the transmitter info tab on this product, okay? How the different frequencies that channels are being broadcast here in Ireland. So basically the UHF spectrum is broken into 3 main sections. The lower part is red, the middle part is yellow, and the top part is green. And if it's broadcasting over the entire spectrum, it'll have a black colour here, okay? So you can see anyway, the transmitters here in the Republic are a range of colours, and in the north here, it's red, green, and then, so if we're mixing, we'll say, there's another Diplexer we sell on this range, which is a 3537, and this is far and away the most common one. It'd be for using, let's say, a red-tipped UHF aerial along with either something that's broadcasting in the yellow or the green tip range. Now, you can use a black tipped, but it's easier to get good reception, better reception if you're using the correct color codes. But in one particular circumstance that we found, it can be easier to use a Diplexer that's 5052, and if we scroll down the page, I'll demonstrate exactly when, okay? So if we look at the different ones here, we'll see the range of transmitters here. So we'll see that Cairn Hill covers a range of 41 to 51, and the polarity is shown here, and the correct aerial colour for this is shown as well, okay? So all the Irish ones, the SareViews, are in green, and the Northern and UK ones are shown in blue, okay? So if we move further down, now just currently only the first mux is being used, so the first figure for the green ones are for the SareView ones are relevant, the rest of them aren't being used, and in the UK they're using up to 6 muxes. But increasingly, as time goes on and channels are added, more and more muxes will be used here in Ireland, so eventually the full band from 41 to 51, for example on Cairn Hill, will be used. So if we move down here then to the bottom, what I've done is I've said, well, for the places that are physically possible to pick up from 2 different transmitters, what would we need? So we can see here, if we're mixing Boher Mountain and Cairn Hill, it would be sort of a red and a yellow aerial traditionally, so a 3537 Diplexer would be correct. And if we move all the way down here, if we go to Arfon, which is over in Wales, a sub-transmitter over there that's perfect for Dublin, that can be combined with Tree Rock and Capure, and for that one there, it's 52, 55, or 50, 52. So although that's only for one particular out of about 6 or 7 possible mixes I've seen there, because it's covering Dublin and parts of Wicklow and things like this probably will be of a lot of interest to people, because a lot of people who are in that catchment area. Now, sometimes you'll have a situation, for example, where you're picking up from Mount Leinster and also on Fairview and Presley over in Wales. You'll have an overlap of frequencies, and if you try to combine them, you'll miss out in certain places, okay, in terms of frequencies. But you know, it's probably still a compromise worth having, because it's such a neat solution. But you know, it's a pity there wasn't a little bit better coordinated between the UK and Irish authorities, that this type of overlap didn't occur. But maybe this is not an issue that's of great concern to them. But if we just scroll to the top of the screen here now, I'll actually show you, we've actually created a product called the Irish Digital and UK Freeview combo kit, where we've put together all the aerials, the cables, all the rest of it, so that if you wanted it and decided that you think that this would work in your area, you can actually come along and buy this as a single kit. It'll also contain a UHF master amplifier and a power unit, because although the local transmitter would probably be able to receive with a straightforward aerial, you might need to put an amplifier onto the one pulling in the Freeview signal because of the distance involved in it. So that's it, an overview, hopefully that made some sense to you, of the 5052. It's a relatively complicated thing, but if you can figure it out and follow the information tabs, you might find this is a well worthwhile investment for you, because you'll end up with a very neat solution. You'll have the UK channels and the Irish channels, a single box, and no need for a satellite dish in your house. But it's important to remember, there's only a possibility this is going to work if you live either along the East Coast or along the border.